Good afternoon, everyone. Just giving people a few more minutes to go ahead and log in. And if you can all mute,
something in childcare. Don't meeting. Say water audit or something. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't on your calendar.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the.
All right.
Can everyone mute?
B. Nichols. So it's gotta be something with the city.
Hi, Mr. Edwards. We can hear you.
Cause that's she from DFSS.
I
know she
You have the ability to mute.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and just mute everybody real quick.
Thank you.
Oh, oops, Bia, I think I accidentally muted you as well. I think you'll have to unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We're going to give it just a few more seconds for people to go ahead and join. Everyone has been placed on mute because we are expecting a rather large crowd. If you can do us a favor and go ahead and put your name and your agency in the chat box. That way we can take attendance. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started, and more people will join as we go along. My name is B. Nichols, and I'm the director here at DFSS for Health and Safety. Again, welcome. I am excited to be on this webinar today with one of our vendors, which is 120Water Audit. And you'll get to learn more about 120Water Audit and everything that they do to support DFSS and all of you. Our other partner in this is Globetrotters. Most of you are familiar with Globetrotters because they're the ones that come out to your site and do facility inspections. I have the pleasure of my colleagues with DFSS. The PM monitors are also joining us today. So you have a full support team available to you. And with that, I am going to turn it over to Aya. Aya is with 120Water Audit. Aya.
Thanks, Bia. I'll go ahead and share my screen here so we can get started. All right. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to today's platform training webinar with 120Water. My name is Aya Putelis, and I'm a program consultant here at 120, and I'll be leading today's session. So today's session will be broken down into two parts, essentially. I'll share a few slides here at the beginning. We'll just kind of go over a program overview and software introduction. And then I'll go into a live software demo and walk you through the platform and the different capabilities that we have on the 120Water platform. And then at the end, I'll also have some time for Q&A. So if along the way you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat box, and then Bia and I can cover them at the end. So the purpose of this slide is to kind of help you get an idea of who's involved in the program. Obviously, DFSS provides program oversight and funding. We here at 120Water provide the online and mobile software portal. We also provide the physical sample kits as well as sample analysis through our certified lab partner in the state of Illinois. And then, as you can see, GEC is the engineering firm partnering with DFSS to provide sample planning as well as sample collection. And they are also the group that provides mitigation reports and remediation guidance. So here we kind of have the steps throughout the program and ultimately how we kind of get through the end here. The first step is that GEC will develop a sample plan for each facility on the 120Water platform. They will let us know to ship kits, which we will deliver directly to GEC. They will then coordinate sampling with each facility and collect samples for them. And then the samples are shipped directly to our lab partner in the Chicago area. The lab will analyze results and then send them to us here at 120, and then we'll upload those results to our online platform. When those results are uploaded to the platform, you as a facility contact, as well as DFSS and GEC, will be automatically notified when those results are uploaded in the form of an automatic email. And then if you do have any exceedances, GEC will then provide mitigation guidance. And I believe that is via email directly to you at each facility. And then also those are uploaded to the platform as well. And then once you have received your mitigation or remediation guidance, those two words are kind of used interchangeably, you can then track your mitigation progress on the platform as well. All right, so now that we have some context, we'll jump into how you can utilize the 120Water platform. 120Water has created the software that you'll be using, and it does look a little different on a laptop versus a phone. And for today, I'll be focusing on the desktop version, but know that you can also access the platform using your mobile device as well. So here is how the platform is mainly utilized. There's dashboards for each specific user. There will also be a facilities page with facility details. You can track your fixtures and samples, as well as view your sample results. Obviously, there are those automatic notification emails that will be emailed to you. There's a document library. You can also export your data and track your remediation progress. All right, so to access the platform, you'll first receive an invitation from 120Water, and that will come from our support email, which is support@120water.com. And if you ever forget your password, there's an option to reset it. And if you run into any other login issues, you can always email support@120water.com. And in order to receive a platform invitation, you'll need to be approved by DFSS first. So if you're currently unsure who your facility user is on the platform, or if you currently don't have access to the platform, you will need to contact DFSS directly. They will then send us who the agency level coordinators are and the site directors, and then from there, we will send out platform invitations. And then again, if you're ever logged onto the platform and you need any assistance, there is a question mark in that top right corner that you can click on, which will give you access to contact support. And then you can always email, again, that support email. All right. So with that, I'll kind of switch gears here and open up the 120Water platform and walk you through each of those capabilities. So there are two ways that you can access the 120Water platform. The first is by going to facilities.120wateraudit.com, and that will take you to the login page. The other way is you can go to 120water.com, super easy to remember. And in the top right corner, there'll be this login button. You'll click that, and then you'll see there's a public water systems platform and a facilities platform. The facilities platform is used for schools and daycares, so that is the one that you will be clicking on. And again, that will take you to this login page. You'll then insert your email associated with your account and your password. If you ever forget your password, here's that forgot password button, and that will send you an email to reset it. Once you log in, it will take you to this program hub dashboard. Now mine looks a little bit different than the rest of yours, and that is mostly because I just have, administrative permissions on the platform, but each of you as a facility user will only see information associated with each one of your facilities that you are assigned to. So here in the top right corner, you have your profile settings and the support option as well. There again is that support button there. Across the top, you'll see these tabs: districts, facilities, plans, collections, reports. Here you'll kind of in the middle, you'll see this general program hub, which will show you a general overview of your sampling results and each type of fixture that has been sampled. So now we'll kind of jump into these tabs at the top. This districts tab has each facility organized by district, which is kind of more for administrative use. Here under the facilities tab, you will have each facility that's associated with you listed. And again, you'll only see the facilities that are assigned to you. You will not see all of them as I kind of do here on my view. Under the plans tab, you will find the sampling plans for each facility. And this is where GEC will be creating those sample plans for your facility. Under the collections tab is how GEC tracks their collections and the status of each of those. And then the reports tab just kind of gives administrators a way to export results efficiently and quickly for all facilities, not just yours. So I'll kind of jump back into the facilities tab here, and I'm going to use Forever Young as my example, just because it's the first one that shows up. If you click into your facility, it will bring you to this first details tab. And on here, you'll see there's several other sub-tabs across the top. You have details, surveys, fixtures, samples, remediations, users, and contacts. This first tab, details, will have general location details about your facility, demographic information, again, high-level overview of samples that have been collected. And you also have this documents tab on the right side of the page. Up here is where, or over here, I should say, is where you can upload any kind of document associated with your facility. So you should be able to find maybe a facility map or maybe a communication that was made between GEC and your facility. You will also see mitigation reports be uploaded to this tab over here, as well as your laboratory results. So like a PDF version of your lab results will also show up over here on the right. And we'll move on to this surveys tab. This just kind of gives you some more information regarding your facility about the plumbing, other things like that. This tab isn't used as often and probably hasn't been used in some time, so it won't necessarily be pertinent for your use. The fixtures tab is where you will see each fixture that has been mapped at your facility. So as you can see, each fixture is assigned a fixture code. In the fixture type column, you'll see exactly what kind of fixture it is, whether that's a faucet or a drinking fountain, a water cooler, a spigot, what have you, as well as the fixture location, if that fixture is located in a bathroom or a kitchen or in a hallway. And again, here are some other just columns that you can further use to identify fixture locations. And then the last column here at the right will give you a status of either active or inactive. So maybe if it's a fixture that's broken and hasn't been used in a long time and it's currently bagged, you can note that as an inactive fixture as well. I'm going to skip over the samples and remediations tab for a quick minute. I'm going to jump over to the users tab. This is where you will see each facility user or login that's associated with your facility. So as you can see on this example, you have most of GEC's field users assigned to this specific facility, and you should also see as well as your login associated with the 120Water platform. And then over here on the right, on the contacts tab, that will be the contact associated with each facility. There might be multiple on here. There might just be one person. And this is just contact information for if whoever needs to get in contact with the facility directly, this would be the main point of contact there. All right. So I will jump back into this samples tab real quick, because this will be most important to you guys. This is where you will see your sample results. So once you receive that automatic email notification that your results are ready and uploaded to the platform, you can, when you click on the link in that email, it will take you directly to this page. And as you can see, we have several columns here. Again, you have that fixture code that has been assigned to each fixture in your facility. You have a column for the draw type, whether that was a first draw, which is the first sample that's collected from a fixture, or if that is a flush draw, which would be a 30-second sample collected after that initial draw. You'll have, again, that fixture type, when that sample was collected, as well as the fixture location. This is a sample status. So if the sample could not be collected for any reason, if the water wasn't running or the fixture is broken, you could put for whatever reason in here, whether or not that was collected. And then here on the far right, that'll be your result column. So your sample results will show up here in parts per billion. If you do have an exceedance, that result will show up in red. If you have a non-detect, and that would be, you know, below reporting limits, that will show up in green and it'll say ND for non-detect. And then if it's above detection levels, but below the action level, then that result will show up in yellow. So that's where your results live. And if you ever need to export these results for any reason, there's this button here in the top right corner. You'll click that and that will download it as an Excel spreadsheet. All right. So once your results have been uploaded and say you have any exceedances, GEC will contact you with their mitigation report. And now you will start tracking your mitigation in the platform. So here on the far right, you'll see these three little dots for each sample and each fixture. If you have an exceedance and you're ready to remediate or mitigate that fixture, you'll click that and you will click the remediate button. And that will take you over here to this remediations tab. As you can see, they've only tracked one fixture remediation in here. But again, each fixture will show up here similarly to how they're shown in the fixtures and samples tab. You can click directly into that and it will bring you to this screen. And this is how you'll be tracking your remediations. So over here on the left side, you see we have, you can select the different action that you'll be taking depending on what your mitigation report tells you. You can click whether or not you've accepted that action. And you can also put an action completed date. So once you've finished, you know, say you were replacing a fixture or posting signage, you can put the exact date that you have completed that. And you can also add remediation notes here at the bottom. As you can see, they've added some notes here in the past based on remediation or mitigation guidance that was provided to them. And then over here on the right side of the page, you'll have a status tab. That is how you can change the status of your mitigation or remediation. When you first create a remediation, it'll show up as a new. If you're in the progress of, you know, making whatever changes you need to make, you can change that to in progress. And that just lets us know, hey, we're still working on this. We're not quite complete. And then once your action has been completed, you can change your status to completed, and then you'll save that here as well. And then over here on the right, you'll also see this documents tab. And this is where you can upload any kind of documents associated with your mitigation, or you can upload photos of your fixture, either, you know, like here's the before, here's the after, here's what we've done. You can add those documents to there as well. So then you'll just click save and that will bring you back to this remediations tab here. And then you can track your progress that way, and you'll have the status over here on the right telling you how many remediations are new, in progress, or completed. So that's a pretty high level overview of the platform. Bia, I kind of want to hand it back over to you. I know you had some additional comments regarding remediations.
Thank you, Aya. Yeah, I want people to ask us questions because we kind of went through it, and Aya went through it because she's working on it all the time. This may be your first view of it, so certainly open up on mic and ask us any questions that you would like. And while you're thinking of your questions, Aya, how do I change the screen?
There should be a screen share option here at the bottom.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Can you let me know when you can see?
Looks like it's still loading here, but it's coming up. There we go. Yep, you are now sharing.
All right, you can see communication plan.
Yes.
All right. So what I wanted to do was just sort of backtrack with you all as to how we got here. DFSS put out a communication plan. This was back, I think in 2019, when we asked agencies to put these 3 letters up. This first letter that I'm going to show you is a letter to the agency from our deputy commissioner. And it looks like this, as soon as I can get it to work. Just a second, bear with me. All right. Hold on. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. Okay, good. Let's see if it'll work for me. So this first letter that I'm going to show you is got our DFSS letterhead on it up here. And what this letter is it just informs parents and other stakeholders, partners, your staff at that site that we test for lead. And whenever there are lead exceedances, what our next steps should be. So when you walk into a center on your parent board or some very visual spot, it could be at the entrance of your building, it could be on your parent board, but we want to see this particular letter right here. So that's one letter that I want you to post. And it's all right that it says 2019. When we get audited by the feds, they know that the state of Illinois began this process in 2019. All right, so the next letter that we're looking for when we come to your center is we are looking for this particular letter. And this one is on your letterhead. And what it is basically a replication of the one that I just showed you, but it's coming from your agency. It's on your agency letterhead and is signed by your agency official. Now, when I say agency, I mean Centers for New Horizons, Ada S. McKinley, the agency. At your particular site, this then protects you because parents are reading this. They know the agency is aware. They know that DFSS, the funder, is aware that everyone should be testing for lead. The third letter, you may or may not post because this letter then indicates you have exceedances at your site. Whether or not it's in the kitchen area, in one of the sinks, or if it's in one of the bathroom areas where you had exceedances, this tells anyone that comes into that facility what your plan is. So in this section, you will outline, and we'll go over this in a minute, what you're going to do to remediate or mitigate, as I have said, mitigate lead in that particular fixture. So let me give you some examples of what agencies have done to mitigate. So bear with me. I've got to get out of this one and go into another screen. All right. Again, if you have any questions, because I know we're going over this quickly, feel free to ask them. And I'm going to ask Aya and the DFSS monitors if you can kind of man the chat box. And if I get a question, just open mic and let me know what that question is. All right, so now I want to show you some real-time pictures. So if you see yourself in these pictures, just pat yourself on the back. That means you're doing everything that you need to do. All right. This particular picture, hopefully it'll come up, there it is a sink. It's a bathroom sink. And so when any one of the monitors see that you have an exceedance level in a bathroom sink like this, they're going to ask you, all right, what did you do to mitigate this? So this particular center sent this back as evidence to us. And the only failure that I have with this is they didn't list for us directly on the picture which bathroom sink it is. So that when any one of our monitors goes back in, they know, go to classroom A, bathroom A, or whatever, however you label. So you can write that directly in marker, or you can label it on any picture that you send back to us, or any picture that you upload into the 120 Water Audit portal, because we're able to view it from the portal. So you can see here the fixture was the faucet, and they replaced it. Next picture. Signage is all about signage. When we come in, we want to be able to see signs like notice. And what I love about this sign is it's in English and Spanish. So anybody who's visiting is able to see that the non-potable water is not good for drinking or cooking use. So I'm just going through some examples of what we've seen out at your sites.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in real quick and let you know that I don't see your entire photo pulled up. I just see all the photos, kind of the small thumbnails there.
Oh no. Okay. Let me see if I can go back. All right. So I think I'm going to have to click on them individually. This was, can you see this one where it says notice?
No, that's still, I just see the small thumbnail. You might have to unshare your screen and then reshare it as your entire desktop.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Thank you. Let me know what you're seeing.
I'm still.
Are you seeing anything?
No, I still see the same screen with all the photo thumbnails.
What about now?
No, still the same.
Okay. Well, why don't you go ahead and finish, Aya, and I'm going to work on trying to put these in another format so I can share.
Okay, sure.
There you go. Any questions? I see we have one from, let's see. No questions. I guess they understand everything that we're saying.
Yeah, I will make sure, since I covered the platform pretty quickly, I'll go ahead and share my screen again. And if there's anything anyone wants to cover again, or if they want to look at their particular facility, go ahead and drop your name or your facility in the chat box, and we can go ahead and take a look. So I'll just kind of pause now and let everyone gather their questions. No questions at all. Okay. Well, again, I'll just kind of quickly jump into that remediations tab, since that's where you guys will be the most active as your specific facility users. Again, from the samples tab, you'll click the small 3 dots on the right side of the page, click remediate, and that will bring you into this remediations tab. And it will automatically create a new remediation or mitigation for each fixture. Again, this is where you will track and accept each action that you are taking. And as Bia was showing those signs or pictures of those signage and all that, this documents tab here at the right, that's where you'll upload those documents. And that's where Bia and the rest of DFSS will be able to view what actions you are taking at your facility. And then again, you can add any notes here at the bottom, and as well as changing your status as you work through those actions as well.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Can you pull up, just go into one of the pictures just to give them an idea of what you can upload.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'll need to stop sharing and reshare here. Yeah, so for example, this facility user just uploaded a photo of their fixture. I'm not sure if this is pre or post remediation. It looks like these were done, a couple years ago. But yeah, here's some additional photos that they've uploaded. Here's another photo of just the fixture itself. But yeah, as you can see, if you were to add signage or what have you, you could take a photo of that here. And as Bia mentioned, making sure you know exactly which fixture this is and where it's located. And then you would upload that here to this documents library. All right, any other questions?
Ajay, this is sorry, can you hear me, Ajay?
Yeah, hi Mir, how are you?
Fine. This is Mir Jakaria from Globetrotters Engineers. I'm the project manager of this project, working with the 120Water. Thanks, Ajay. I would like to add one thing that that fixture code and fixture locations that you showed. If you can go back to the screen, I would like to encourage everybody that GEC, when started scheduling the site, number of fixtures and location and everything, this is very critical things, all that, fixture code and the fixture location. I would like to encourage the site directors of the agency to make sure that those are the right information, because based on that, typically 120Water sent us the sample kits. Our, the inspector goes to the site, coordinate that. And also when we see that results that lead has exceedance, we can make recommendation. And it is going to be very clear and specific for particular fixture in particular location needs some remediation. So this information needs to be updated if anything changes in the facilities before scheduling the water, lead water sample collection. That's I'd like to add, Ajay, to the all the participants, that to make sure that fixture location are the right information on this screen.
Yeah, that's a great call out. And another thing I wanted to add, if you click into each one of these fixtures, that will give you a little more details about each fixture. And this can always be edited as well to add, if anything's changed at any of these, or if something's not looking correct, or what have you. Yeah, that can all be edited in this fixtures tab.
And also in a situation, if you add some more classroom or something, anything changes, is better to update it here. Number of fixtures, number of location and everything, so that we can coordinate with the number of sample kits and to make sure that we don't need to repeat the process or to go back to the site again for additional fixtures, water collection. So that's probably I would encourage everybody should look into this portal and to make sure that information are correct.
Yeah.
Did we show them the labs, the lab work?
Because where you can find the lab results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get a lot of questions, and I know that it's difficult to decipher, but if you can also show them the broken down version of it. You get the version from the actual lab, and then the version they can go and pull down.
Yeah. So the version that each of you can go and pull down, that'll be found again on the samples tab, and you would click that export button over here on the right side. And that will download it as an Excel spreadsheet, and it'll have all these same columns that you see here. It'll be organized by fixture code, which draw type it was, when it was collected, as well as the result. So that's just an easy way to view it. I think that's kind of the most clear-cut way to view it. But if for whatever reason you also wanted to look at the actual lab report, the PDF version, that will be found under the details tab under this documents library. So you'll see here, this one says lab report, kind of loud and clear. You can download that, and that will pull up the PDF version of the lab report as well. And then you can download that if needed. So yeah. Anything else we need to cover, Bia? I think I got it all.
I think you did too. I think you did a pretty nice job. I don't know if people are just overwhelmed by so much of the information.
Yeah.
'Cause, this is the time to ask any question that you want.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll drop my email here in the chat box as well. If anything comes up later on, if anyone wants to look, oops, sent that to you directly via everyone in meeting. If anybody wants to cover anything again, I'm happy to quickly schedule some time to meet and go over that as well.
And Raven put a question. Well, it's more of a comment. Raven works with GEC. Another important thing to note about the document section under details is that the most recent information is located at the bottom. So if you want to just show them that.
Yeah, that's a really good call out as well. Yeah, as documents are added to the document library, I'll go ahead and share my screen again. As documents are added over here on the right to this documents library, as Raven said, the most recent document will be uploaded here at the bottom. So that's where you'll see this. For this, it just is a sample acknowledgement form that's been uploaded. I think your mitigation report will also be uploaded here to this tab as well. So if you ever need to go back and reference a PDF version of any document, those will all be saved here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a whole history of your facility. And like I said, it really doesn't matter if you have stuff in here from 2019, that's fine. Because GEC and I'm looking at and the DFSS monitors are looking to see what things have changed, what's staying the same. Are you really following your mitigation plan? Because over time, if you're following your mitigation plan, the lead level should reduce. So that's why we have this history.
Yeah, and as you're saying that, one more thing to note on this samples tab, if you just want to see, history for one specific fixture, you can filter by that specific data as well. And then you can see, how many times this fixture has been sampled, when it was sampled, what the results have been historically. All that is, tracked here in one place as well.
Yeah, it is a wonderful portal. It's a really good resource.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Yeah, I would like to add one more thing for everybody that when GC prepares the mitigation report, unless you request a DFSS, or then DFSS forward the request to us. Otherwise, then we can send it to you, that mitigation report. Otherwise, we typically, if any sites, lead results, accidents happen, then we upload the mitigation report on 120 portal. So I would say that unless you make a request to DFSS, we're not going to send you the mitigation report. Is that right, B? I think that's the way.
Well, what you typically do, just like the facilities reports, if you ship them to us, then we'll make sure that we get them out to the agencies, because I know the monitors, that's something that they use and that they look at, and it's a point of discussion when they go out to visit. So I know, Mir, for the early Head Start CCPs, have you already uploaded the mitigation plans?
That's correct. I did. We did. GC already uploaded all the reports on the portal. So, so I would, request everybody that if you'd like to see your mitigation report, it is on the portal. And Isa explained it very clearly that if you forget your password or login information, how to reset it. Either 120Water can help you on that as well.
Yes,
But-
that's a really good point here. Aya, did we talk about somebody like me who forgets their password if I don't go and paste it? What do they do if they don't know what their password is? Do they just email you or?
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways. When you log in, if you put in your email here, there will be a forgot your password button, and that should send you an automatic like reset password option. But if for whatever reason that's not working, you can always email support@120water.com, and I'll add that email as well into the chat box now for everyone. So yeah, and you can always email me directly as well, and I can definitely help in whatever way is needed.
Does anybody has any question on lab report or anything? I know there's a reports, there's so many pages and everything, but if you have any question on the report, please feel free to reach out to us or DFSS or 120Water. We can try to explain to you.
I'm glad you mentioned that as well, Mir. We do have agencies who have in-house facilities people who do their own water testing, which is fine. You don't have to use our resources if you don't need them. However, even if you have someone do the testing for you, we still want those results. And we will post those results up on the 120Water audit portal, where we keep all of the other results. So unless you ask us not to, but this is the engine that we use so that when we get audited by the feds or by the state, we have everything in one place. I know there are a couple of consultants that are on here from other agencies and or their facilities managers who do their own water testing. They do their own mitigation. We just ask that you keep DFSS abreast of what it is you're doing, so that, or either go and log on and put that information directly in the portal.
And also, in addition to that, when that happens, that if any agencies or site has their own lit, testing, company or somebody else, if they're doing the test, if you upload the report on the 120 portal, if it fails, exceeds the lead amount, GC provides the mitigation report, and GC puts that mitigation report on the portal. So we provide that service as well, even if you are not doing the testing from DFSS or from us.
Or even if they do their own mitigation report,
Yeah.
we can post it on the portal.
Post it on the portal.
We're here to help, but you have to let us know. No questions? What about DFSS? Do any of the monitors have any questions or comments that they'd like to make?
No.
I do be.
Okay.
So my question is okay, so the facilities were tested 3 years ago, I think 3. And some of the results are still on the platform. So all these results are going to be archived for the new results to be inputted.
Yes, did you get that question?
Idea?
Yeah, all the previous sampling will still stay on the platform. Everything will be located under that samples tab. Now that we're actually talking about it, I'm gonna hop in here again real quick.
And the reason I'm asking is because I just went to one site that it was tested. It was indicated that all early HESTA CCP were tested. So where to exactly go if it is going to be a continuation of documents and testing to make the difference between what it was tested before and what is tested now?
Yeah, so that again will all be under this samples tab. You'll see, you know, all historic sampling that has occurred at that facility. If you want to break this down by like, you know, sample year or sampling event, you can go into this plans tab. You could search your facility and it'll show up each individual time that that facility has been sampled. So then from there, you can click into each of those and view those samples separately rather than all together on one page. So here, you know, you'll see for Forever Young, for example, you'll see their initial sampling was completed in 2019. They had a 6-month follow-up and a 1-year follow-up. And in each of those, you'll only see the samples that were associated with that sampling event.
Okay.
Does that
Yes.
answer your question?
Yeah, it was a part of navigating to make sure that you don't get caught monitoring past results than new results and doing not getting confused with new mitigations and past ones.
Right. Yeah. And in each one of these sample plans, I guess you do see every single document associated
Right.
with the facility. That's a good call out. Yeah, they'll all kind of be here together. But again, as Raven pointed out, they go in chronological order. So the older ones will be here at the top and anything new that's been uploaded will be towards the bottom.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Thanks, Frank.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the other thing for the monitors that we're doing is we're going in, really doing some cleanup. We will archive the ones that sites that may no longer be with us, but we definitely want to keep that information in case they need it. 'Cause we just don't want to leave them high and dry. So we're in the process now of updating all of our files. Actually, that's one of the things that Aya and I were working on right before this, making sure that our lists were updated.
Yeah, absolutely. And then again, if you're curious to know, you know, who is listed as a user under your facility, I would encourage you to reach out to DFSS and they can look into that for you. And then make sure everybody has, you know, the correct login for each one of their facilities and that the correct users are associated with each facility as well. That way you're not seeing, you know, all 247 facilities like I am here. Anything else? Any other questions?
So, Ajay, if you can give some feedback to the audience that after, you know, sample is taken to the test, how long does it take typically to post that lab results on the portal?
Yeah,
Upload
absolutely. So
Yeah.
there is a little wait period there, obviously, since the samples are being shipped to the lab. So that takes a couple days. And then we typically see a turnaround time of about 10 days from the lab, 10 to 14 days. So I think it's safe to say 2-week turnaround time from the time that the samples are collected to when we receive the results from the lab.
You know, the other question that we used to get, I haven't heard it too much lately, is are we using state approved labs? And so I know we were using, or are we still using stat analysis?
We have a couple lab partners in the state of Illinois. I believe for DFSS right now, we are using Suburban Labs, and they are located in the Chicago area as well and are certified. So that's definitely not a concern there.
But are they state approved?
Yes, yes, they are.
Through DCFS?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, DFSS. Yeah.
all right. Okay, this is the last call for questions.
I have one question, B.
Mhm.
How are you?
Yeah.
Once we get our password and we complete the test, if we have any challenges or questions, do we come back to you or should we go back to the gentleman at Globetrotters?
Okay, so if it pertains to the water portal that we're talking about now, you would reach out to Aya, and she put her email address in the chat box. If there's a question about the users that are associated with the portal, then you can send that to your monitor, whoever your DFSS monitor is, and we'll work to make sure that we update. What I've tried to do is give access to one agency level representative, whether that be the facilities manager or coordinator of the agency, and then every site director that is associated with this test, they would have access as well. I wish we had unlimited ability, but we don't. So it has to be restricted somewhat, but we would give you that approval.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, there's a question in the box. A username and password will be received or an account needs to be created. So this happens to be an agency who, do we have Kimball, a user for Kimball identified?
Let me look into that real quick.
Because they're one of our newer agents. You're welcome.
Are we talking about Kimball Daycare specifically?
Yes. Yes.
I just have a generic KimballDaycare@yahoo.com. I don't have a specific name associated with that user as of now.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good to know. So Giselle or Yuritsa, if you all want to go back and then get in touch with your DFSS monitor. Remember, I'd like an agency level person who's responsible for overseeing and monitoring the portal and each of your site directors. Oh, and someone says, Giselle is asking for North Star. So I believe North Star is one of Kimball's sites. So again, whoever at the agency level that's monitoring this should be, we should have a user for them, and each of the sites, the site director should have access. So we'll work on that. I think one of the things that Aja and I are doing is making sure that we update the list that we have currently to make sure that we have everybody, all the users uploaded. So give us, how long are you? Maybe a week?
Yeah, I think it'll take some time, just depending on how many we have to update. Yeah, one thing I'll say is, just to reach out to DFSS with your current, who currently needs to be involved at the facility level. And then what will happen is they will send us the email and the name of the user, and then you will get an automatic email from support@120water.com sent to your email address, and then you will set up your own password for your account.
Okay, only a few minutes to go. Any last burning questions? The other good thing about this is we've recorded this session. So if you want to go back and refresh or send it to someone else, maybe some of you are just on here to get the information for someone at your agency, you can let them know. We'll send you back the link that you can go up. I believe it's going to be posted on DFSS's YouTube channel. So you can go back and look at it at your leisure. All right, I turning it back over to you. Where looks like there are no more questions. You explained it very well.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I'll just kind of end here on this last page again, so you can see the support email and support phone number for the 120Water platform, as well as my personal email address in case you have any other questions. And yeah, we'll get everybody sorted out here.
All right. Thank you, Aya. Thank you, Mir and Raven, DFSS, and all of the agencies for joining us this afternoon. Take care.
Thank you all.